Yeah, we are thrilled at Roadtrip Nation to be working with American Access Institute and being able to bring our best resource, the Roadtrip Nation experience, into the Catapult platform. And Roadtrip Nation is all about helping people define their own roads in life, and that is what we are here to do. The students will log in, they get a username and password, enter a magical code, and off they go. And we will see our 5 lessons here. So it starts with an introduction. So what is Roadtrip Nation? What is this whole thing about? Into lesson 2, which is all about shedding the noise. So the noise is that word we use for any of that outside negativity. Students hearing things like, you're not smart enough, and that job won't make you enough money, and people that look like you can't have a job like that. And people with your background will never get a job like that. Whatever it is, learning how to identify what that noise is and work through it. And in these lesson videos that we have, it shows these road trippers going through similar experiences, showing the people that they're interviewing going through similar experience of having those struggles. So the students can really identify with these people that are going through similar things. In lesson 3, we get to connect interests to careers. And it's a compilation of all of these past road trips that we've done for 25 years of showing different road trippers out on the road and interviewing people from all walks of life. And so the student watches the lesson video here, and then underneath that, they go into some lesson questions so they're able to reflect and think about, careers and future and all of that type of stuff. So they're able to type their answers into the box there, and then our roadmap tool. So this is a fun way to explore our interview archive that has just thousands and thousands and thousands of videos of people's stories. So the students will come here, they'll pick an interest. So let's say, what am I interested in? Lots to choose from. I'll pick food. Keep scrolling down. I'm going to pick another interest. I'm going to pick science. And then what lights me up at my core? So anything from accomplishing goals, building things, problem solving, working with others. I'm going to do being creative. And so what this does is it pulls up all of our leaders that Roadtrip Nation has interviewed over the past 25 years that align with that student's interests. So for example, this is Elise Benstein. She is a food scientist. She creates the flavors of Jelly Belly jelly beans. She really has a unique story. She didn't grow up thinking, I really want to be a scientist who creates the flavors of jelly beans. How did she get into this and what struggles did she have along the way to make it into that career? And showing how you can combine interests. You can combine your interests of maybe food and cooking into the world of science and STEM. Learn more about her day in the life and how she got to where she is. And then you can go search by career as well. So if I'm like, okay, whoa, I didn't even know a food scientist existed. Let me learn more about this. So what do they do? And what's a typical day at work? And what are tasks and responsibilities? And what are majors related to that career? And what are additional skills and experiences? Recommended first step for getting started, things like that. So there's a lot in this lesson to kind of explore around and get to see what's out there. And so you can click this again and do this as many times as you want. Explore what's out there, widen that lens to show, you can combine 2 of your interests. You can really, really think outside the box to figure out what are you truly interested in. All of this is leading back to lesson 4, which is the interview project. So here is where the project part of it comes about, where we have the students, they do research to find somebody in their local community that has a career that maybe they want one day. We teach them how to do that research and then how to find their contact information, pick up the phone, make a cold call, and call them and ask them, hey, my name is so and so. I am really interested in learning more about what a food scientist does. I would love to sit down with you and hear about your story and hear about your background and where you came from and how you got to where you are today. Hopefully the person says yes. And then bam, the interview is booked. And then the student gets to the student gets to book that interview and sit down and have a conversation with that person and asking them questions like, where were you when you were my age and how'd you get to where you are today? And what struggles did you have along the way? And what shaped you into who you are today? Those types of conversations. A lot of times that person that the student is interviewing becomes a mentor to that student, becomes maybe they get an internship with them. It goes beyond just this interview. So this is all happening in lesson 4, the interview project. And then lesson 5, the final part of it is putting it all together. So now that I've done that self-exploration, I've done that career exploration, I've talked to somebody who has a career that maybe I want one day, well, what are my next steps? What can I do to put it into action?